ያሉ ሰዎች ተመልቶ እንደ ይቅርታን ንጋት ይቅር በላቸው፣ እንደ ቸርነትን ብዛት በደላቸውን አጥፋላቸው።
The rock-hewn churches of Lalibela, located in the northern part of Ethiopia, are a remarkable group of monolithic churches carved directly into the rock during the 12th and 13th centuries. These iconic structures, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, were built under the reign of King Lalibela to serve as a spiritual center for the Ethiopian Orthodox Christians. The churches are not only a feat of engineering and artistry, but also an expression of deep religious devotion, designed to represent a new Jerusalem for African pilgrims during a time when travel to the Holy Land was fraught with danger. Hello and welcome to Explore Ethiopia. In this episode, we will take you to Lalibela, the second oldest city in Ethiopia. In 1922 AD, the year marking the transition of power from the last Aksumite king, King Dilnad, to the founder of the Zagwe dynasty, King Mera Tekle Haymanot, a significant change took place. King Mera Tekle Haymanot, who married Queen Mesebawork, the daughter of the last Aksumite king, reached an agreement to shift the capital from the ancient city of Aksum to Roha. With his roots in this region, King Mera Tekle Haymanot established his new capital in Roham, which is now known as Lalibela. The northern group of the Lalibela rock-hewn churches lies to the north of the symbolic river Jordan and represents earthly Jerusalem. This group consists of 7 rock-hewn churches. The southern group, located south of the symbolic river Jordan, symbolizes heavenly Jerusalem. It includes 4 churches and is known for its extensive tunnel system, with the longest tunnel connecting the old Bethlehem to Beth Amanuel via Beth Mercurios. This tunnel, with its profound religious symbolism, is often referred to as the Purgatory. Each church in Lalibela has its own design and significance. Beth Medhanialam, the house of the Savior of the world, is the largest carved from a single block of stone. Beth Georgis, Church of St. George, shaped like a cross, is one of the most iconic and renowned churches. And as you step into these sacred spaces, the intricate details are immediately apparent. From the windows and doors to the delicate patterns adorning the walls. These churches are not simply historical sites. They continue to serve as an active places of prayer and worship. The city of Lalibela exudes a spiritual energy that is palpable. Priests in colorful robes walk through the churches, chanting ancient hymns, while pilgrims dressed in white bow in prayer with deep reverence. The air is filled with the scent of incense, creating an unforgettable atmosphere. And the sense of faith is especially powerful during Ganna, the Ethiopian Christmas celebration.
So in our today's special episode, we are going to focus on the historic and ancient city of Lalibela. We're here. Right, he is my curator. He is Masrasha Misgano. He has a deep knowledge regarding the issue. We are going to stay and go to the rock Hewn churches, and we will discover the hidden gems of this city. All right, Master Shah, thank you very much indeed for joining me. Thank you for having me. Let us give highlights for our audience regarding this city. Could you please tell us the historical background of this city?
This city is currently known as Lalibela, which was formerly known as Roha. Roha is the second oldest capital city in Ethiopia, Aksum. You know, after the decline of the ancient civilization of the Aksumite Empire, the last Aksumite king, whose name is King Delnad, passed his crown to his son-in-law, to the military general of the time, and he is the founder of the city, whose name is King Marat Klaimanot, who got married to the daughter of the last Aksumite king, whose name is King Delnad, and his wife is known as Queen Masabawak. And they brought the power from Aksum to Roha. Roha is the place where this king is from, and his ancestors are from the Lasta Mountains. That's why he decided to found his own capital city here at Roha, in the middle of Lasta Mountains in Ethiopia. And they moved the capital city from Aksum to Roha. Roha became center of power from 920 to 80. That is the year that the last Aksumite king abdicated in favor of his son-in-law, and then brought the power and the capital city to Roha. Roha became center of power for the kings of the Zagwe dynasty. And there were notable kings during the Zagwe dynasty, and the most famous of all was King Lalibela. King Lalibela, who founded the rock-hewn churches of Lalibela, which are World Heritage Site since 1978. 1978, Gregorian calendar. And that was the year that this site was recorded along with the Simeon Mountains as World Heritage. And it became famous throughout the world in terms of its historical importance. So Roha was really the most important center of power during the Zagwe dynasty, and King Lalibela is the most famous of all the Zagwe dynasty kings. And he's famous because of his decision to create New Jerusalem here on African soil, because that was a period of crusade in which it was impossible to make a journey to Jerusalem because of the crusade war going on between Christians and Muslims to capture Jerusalem. So King Lalibela decided to bring a solution for African Christians so they can make a safer pilgrimage to the New Jerusalem here on their own land. So he decided to create all these rock-hewn churches, all these 11 churches in the Lasta Mountains here at Roha, and he grouped them into two major groups, the Northwest group and the Southeast group. And today we'll be exploring these rock churches, which are one of the most famous and a leading tourist attraction in Ethiopia. And it takes us more or less full day to explore through these groups of churches. And I'm glad that you came here for Christmas, so you can tell the world that we have these tangible and intangible attractions in Ethiopia that is one of the gems of Ethiopia's tourism attraction.
Coming back to Lalibela, starting from early in the morning, we have been visiting, like starting from Beta Gabriel to Beta Rufai. Now we are here at Beta Manuel, Beta Madalena, and so on. Yeah. So could you please tell us details about these carved churches?
King Lalibela, when he carved this sacred site, he had named the hills surrounding the rock churches after the names of the sacred mountains found in Jerusalem. For example, this morning we were at Mount of Olives, known as Debre Zayt, and that mountain is representing Mount of Olives, located east of Jerusalem. And this mountain, named after that sacred mountain, is located east of the Lalibela churches. And also, we have another hill known as Mount Tabor, which is where Christ had made his transfiguration, and he showed his divine nature having prayed on Mount Tabor. And it is located close to the southeast group of churches, the rock churches that we are currently visiting. The churches are grouped into two major groups, separated by the symbolic River Jordan. River Jordan, which is where Christ was baptized by John the Baptist. And that divides these two major groups of the churches in Lalibela. And these monolithic rock churches are grouped as the northwest group, which are located northwest of symbolic River Jordan, which are Beit Medanialem, Beit Mariam, Beit Maskel, Beit Danagel, Beit Debre Sina wa Golgotha. And having crossed through there, we'll be able to witness the symbol of Tomb of Adam, and then we will reach at Beit Georgis, which is a cross-shaped church. And these churches are located in the northwest group of the Lalibela Rock-hewn churches. And the Rock-hewn churches, which are located southeast of symbolic River Jordan, are known as Beit Gabriel, Raphael, Beit Mercurius, Beit Emmanuel. Beit Emmanuel is the church where we are right now, and Beit Abalibanos are the churches located southeast of symbolic River Jordan. These two groups have their own religious symbolism. King Lalibela wanted them to symbolize, these two groups of churches, to symbolize earthly Jerusalem and heavenly Jerusalem. The northwest group symbolizes earthly Jerusalem, all the sacred places that are found in Jerusalem or its surroundings. For example, if we call some of the churches, we have Debre Sina and Golgotha in the northwest group, which means Holy Mount Sinai, where Moses received the Ten Commandments, and that is located in the Middle East. During his journey as a pilgrim, King Lalibela witnessed this sacred site, and he renamed it here in one of his churches. And Golgotha is a symbolic tomb of Christ, which is still located in the northwest group. And the symbol of Tomb of Adam, Mount Calvary, where Christ was crucified on, is also represented symbolically in the northwest group. And Beit Georgis, if we head down to Beit Georgis, you'll be able to see the symbolic representations of Noah's Ark. Noah had an ark that saved all species of animals when this great flood happened. In the Bible, in the Old Testament, it is mentioned at Mount Ararat, he released all these all these creatures of God, male and female, from each species of animals, and he released them at Mount Ararat. This mountain is located between Armenia and Turkey, and this is a sacred site located on earth. That's why, King Lalibela names the northwest group that represented all these sacred places that are known to us in the Bible, located on earth. And that's why he calls the northwest group of churches a symbolic representation to earthly Jerusalem. And the southeast group, we have been able to witness, starting from Beit Gabriel Raphael, we were able to see a cistern deep down, which is a cistern of water that symbolize hell beneath and the church buildings high above, representing the heaven. And we have the symbolic path to heaven, if you remember. This is a symbolic representation about what we expect after days, doing good things in life, so you'll be able to embrace the kingdom of heaven, or God's kingdom. And this is why people learn from the architecture itself. being sinful, when you cross that symbolic path to heaven, you'll slip down to hell. Then the kingdom of heaven slips from you, because if you have never done anything good in life on earth, this is what is expected in our religion, and this is a doctrine of the Christianity. And furthermore, when you are sinless, like when you do good things in life, you'll be embracing the kingdom of heaven. You'll be able to cross that symbolic path to heaven, and you'll embrace the kingdom of heaven. And this is why we call it the symbolic path to heaven. And if you remember, the only connection to reach the church building is that symbolic path, which is a very narrow path. And even to reach the church, we were crossing the bridge, you remember?
Yeah, absolutely.
Man-made bridge, which was later made. And King Lalibela did not make an easy crossing, because there is only one way to heaven. That's this narrow path. Only those without sin are able to cross that narrow path to heaven. And secondly, we passed through from the old Bethlehem through a dark tunnel to Beta Margorius and Beta Manuel. And that's symbolic representation to the purgatory. So before you enter heaven. Then when you pass through this dark tunnel, it reminds you of the purgatory, and then you climb up the steps, and then you see light into Beta Margorius. And inside Beta Margorius, you'll be able to see 24 pillars standing in the church supporting the roof. They symbolize the 24 heavenly clergy, or we call them the 24 elders, that praise God throughout time, all the time. So this is what we call as the heavenly symbolism. And then we came to Beta Manuel, and we'll proceed to Beta Apalibanus, in which they all have their own representations that symbolize the heavens. And next to this, we'll be proceeding to Beta Apalibanus, in which the church is carved on just a cliffside. The roof is still attached to the living rock, supporting the throne of God in the heavens, cherubim and seraphim carrying the throne of God in the heavens. So all the symbolism here in the southeast group are related to the heavens. That's why we call them heavenly Jerusalem. And this is what they signify for having grouped these two major groups of churches in Lalibela, separating them by this symbolic river known as the River Jordan.
Whether you're a believer or simply curious about unique traditions, visiting Lalibela will leave you with lasting memories. It's a journey to a sacred place and a deeper understanding of Ethiopian Christianity.
Okay, so my name is Kasia and I come from Poland. It's my first time in Ethiopia, and I arrived yesterday in Ethiopia and today in Lalibela.
Okay, my name is Astrid. I'm from South Africa, and this is my first visit to Ethiopia, but I've been wanting to come here for a very long time. So I'm very happy to be here.
So it is my first time in Ethiopia, and it's a beautiful country. I landed in Addis. I then went to the Omo Valley, where I saw the different tribes, the Mursi, the Karo, Dasanich. And now I'm here in Lalibela. I have visited the churches, I've done the trekking in the mountains, and it's also beautiful, and I'm hoping to go next to Danakil.
Okay, I'm William. These are my parents. This is my dad, Winner. This is my mom, Ellie. This is our first time in Ethiopia. We've been here for 10 days. We went to the Danakil Depression, Tigray, Aksum, and finally Lalibela. We live in the US, but originally we're from China.
Oh, the culture. Yeah, and it's amazing, the church. We love it. It's very special, very unique. We have been traveled more than 60 countries. Here is really, really good experience. Usually when we travel some popular place, it's a lot of tourists. But here you can really feel the native people, their life. It's not for the tourist. It's the local life. You can really enjoy the local life, the nature, the landscaping. Amazing.
I have friends who have been to Ethiopia before, and they've spent more time here, so they all said Lalibela was really nice. So that's why I came, and I didn't really have any expectations. I just wanted to see the churches, because it's an important historic site, and I read a lot about it before I came, so yeah, that's why I decided to come.
Having prepared a lot before I came, I am still very surprised at how many churches I've been able to go and visit, to see inside, the differences between the churches, all the historical and the religious relevance, spiritual. I've learned so much, so it has been a magnificent day, and I'm very, very impressed.
To be honest, I saw pictures of Lalibela on the internet, but to experience it in person in Lalibela is completely different. The pictures don't do it justice because it's really marvelous when you're there at the spot. I loved the churches, I loved the symbolism. It was very interesting. Walking through the tunnels, something representing hell, the windows representing, for example, the people who were crucified to the right and left of Jesus in the church. Many different symbols that I found very interesting. And the scale of the churches, when you see them in person and how big they are, they don't look that big in the photos. It's very beautiful. And the experience itself is very humbling, with all the people praying and wearing white. And the priests were all so welcoming, and the chanting and drumming and everything. Very interesting.
Yeah. Well, the churches are definitely very special. It's, you know, to think that they're all carved from the rock instead of being built up like traditional churches, it's just mind-blowing. I think, you know, it must have taken like a lot of work to do this, and it's just amazing to look at. It's very unique. Like, I've never seen anything like this in any other part of the world. And the culture here, I think, is very rich. Like, these churches are being kept alive. They're still used today, which is amazing.
Well, you definitely have to come. It's one of the most beautiful countries that I have been to, and I have traveled very widely. So it's very definitely very much worth a visit. Do come.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Taking a visit to Beta Georgis during the sunset gives a pleasant time for us, for visitors. So it's very interesting. Anyways, I'd like to appreciate for your time once again.
All right.
So Lalibela is, I can say, like, it is a living mosaic.
Yes.
All right. So everyone, not shall, but must visit.
That's right. Thank you very much. And please, you need to spread this word to people you know and to everyone else who are listening to this program, to tell to their friends, because we have daily flights to Lalibela as well. You know, they can use either flights or by road, because these flights are daily flights connecting Addis Ababa to Lalibela and also Gondar to Lalibela. And for the future, I hope Ethiopian Airlines will resume its flight to Aksum as well, and from Aksum to Lalibela, which was formerly a daily flight schedule, and nowadays they need to resume these flights. And we, on the way, I would like to pass my message.
I would like to appreciate for your time. My curator, Masrasha Muskianao. I hope I'm going to meet you some other time on different episodes. Thank you for your time once again.
Yes, thank you very much, and thank you for having me on this program.
Right, to wrap up, Well, viewers, this is Explore Ethiopia. We were here at Lalibela Hewn churches. We have seen very amazing treasures, history, and so on and so forth. So for you, there is a daily flight from Addis Ababa to Lalibela, so you can come and visit and spend unforgettable time. Thank you very much indeed. I am Ogayo Muluna. Goodbye, and stick around with the rest of our program.